Hey, it's Kalifazz. Welcome to this week's podcast. We have the one and only Miss Anita Guiterrez-Dune. You guys can find us on
YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, Google Music. Oh my God, everywhere you get your podcasts.
God dang, so kick back, chillax, drink a beer, enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, it's time. It's time for the Kalifazz Puro Beach Party Podcast. And now, your hosts, Kalifazz and the funny guy, Guy Murray. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Amigos, once again, welcome back to the Kalifazz Puro Beach Party Podcast with my man Guy Murray.
Hey, what's happening, Kalifazz? How you doing, man?
I'm doing mighty fine, man. Dude, I'm so fucking excited right now.
I'm excited for you, man.
Well, you know what? I'm so excited because the other day I went out to the my fucking toe was fucking hurting, man. And I had this fucking uña enterrada. Come on, guys. You guys all know. You guys never get those damn nails, that shit. And then what sucks? You know what sucks, guy?
What's that?
When you go to get a pedicure, I go, I'm sorry, what? No, I don't know. I just look at the fucking price. And they tell you it's $27, right?
Whoa. For a
dude,
pedicure?
Yeah, dude.
It's been a long time since I've gone.
Man, vato, shit. Vato, when you're like me, when you're blind, and estás gordito, but very, very cute, not to mention, very, very cute. You know, come on, everybody. Have you guys ever had like a toenail hurts and shit, but you can't see, so you go get a pedicure, right? And I'm thinking, please God, give me a hot-looking chick to take out my damn toenail, right? I get the ugliest one, man. I send a text to my wife. Why the fudge do I always get the ugliest ones, dude? I swear to God, this woman was at least 82 years old.
I bet your wife goes in there first and says, "Give him an ugly one." She pays extra for the ugly girl.
No, she goes to the.
Be happy with the way your pedicure goes.
Be happy.
Make sure she got a big old pig nose.
No, dude. You know what happened? My wife Carmen, and thank you for all the love and support. Hi, Connie. This woman goes to these women that really take care of her, so she don't want to take me over there. But you see, because hey, dude, come on, let's be real.
I'm real.
You never had a pedicure, right?
Never have.
Dude.
Wait, I can't say I have had a pedicure.
So the deal is, come on, guys, we all know, we ain't bullshitting, man. We ain't bullshitting. That's why we're the Kalifazz Puro Pichi Party Podcast. Dude, I take off my fucking socks, right? And I swear to God, man, I got some cute toes. I just can't see them. I can't see them because, you know, uno está gordito and all that kind of shit. But I'm gordito, but you know what? I'm sexy.
Sexy, then you know it.
So anyways, she's cutting my fucking toe, man, and it hurts. You like it? I go, oh.
You like it?
I like it. You like it? And then she goes like this. That bitch, I swear, is talking shit about my toes. Yeah. So once again, Kalifazz no cambia, man. You know what? Once again, before we start the show, I want to say thank you, Mr. Guy Murray, the funny man, because you work so hard to put on these podcasts, man.
No, I wouldn't have it if it wasn't for you, though. So, I mean, you just help bring everything out. So we're here. Had some great episodes. Oh.
Are you flirting with me? Hey, you know what? I am so honored. I am fucking so honored.
Why are you so honored,
Because you know what? When we did our first podcast, I wasn't too thrilled, you know, because you're the tall guy and I'm the funny guy. And you're still fucking tall.
I'm still tall.
But you know what? Now I'm fucking excited now because you know what? Now we're here. Now and we're at the Kalifazz Studios. As you can see, if you guys want to play the drums, if you guys want to play guitar, it's missing a chord. Like it's like my teeth, you know. It's missing one shit right here. But anyways, today's special guest, we have the one and only
Anita Guiterrez-Dune, ladies and gentlemen.
Anita Guiterrez-Dune. I swear to God, man, she is not that Rosie girl. What was that girl's name? Rosie?
Perez.
Yeah, you know the white man can't jump.
The other hot Puerto Rican type right here.
Oh, shit, Anita. Before we start the show, let's do a salud. Let's do a salud. Welcome to this episode that we're so excited to have you here because we know your life. I mean, he knows it more than I do, but I know that you've been 20-some years married to a Marine or
Yes.
and all that. And nobody, I mean, a lot of people don't know, but it's. I imagine it's a tough life when your husband's over there serving and then you're home with all the kids because you got, 48 kids?
I have 3 children.
Wow.
But I did have twins that while he was deployed for a whole year.
So does that mean you got 5 now?
Your math is bad.
Yeah.
No.
I
When
actually have
she's,
4.
let's get our mouth straight.
Okay.
Anita Guiterrez-Dune, get it straight. When you say you have 3 kids and then you had twins, when the vato was over there, that means it's 5. So let's get our story straight.
No, actually, it's because of a Mexican family unit. You know, actually, I have 3 children, but then my daughter decided to duplicate. You know, and so now that I raised her daughter.
So your granddaughter.
My granddaughter. And then she had another baby. So you're right. I actually do have 5 kids.
See?
Wow.
I accept your apology, Mr. Guy Murray.
I didn't say. I just said,
So-
okay.
All right, so everybody, because you guys all know, when we try to have a kick-ass time, we try to have a good time. Who is Anita Guiterrez-Dune?
Anita Guiterrez-Dune is an up-and-coming producer and promoter for comedy in the North County.
Wow.
I find that it's necessary with so many military families around to find common ground and be able to associate with other people. And after 20 years of war, it has been incredibly difficult to try to go out and enjoy ourselves. So I started attending comedy shows as a way to release my own pent-up frustrations.
So that for 20 years you're just staying home, raising your kids while your husband is serving for all of us.
That sounds good, but no.
Oh.
So before, I actually went to school to be a paralegal. And then
Okay.
after that, one time my husband moved. I followed him, of course, and that was back in 1999.
Wow.
So 2 years after we got together, 9/11 happened. And after 9/11 happened, it was just deployment after deployment
Wow.
after
Yeah.
deployment.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of free time. And during that time, I went to school. I worked during the day, and then I went to school for medical.
Wow.
And then I happened to get pregnant. My husband's knee was damaged on a deployment after hitting a roadside bomb.
And you still got pregnant with a bad knee?
He had the bad knee.
Oh.
I was fine.
You know what? I'm a good listener, woman. I'm a good
Good
listener.
listener. Good listener.
Hey,
Yeah, we worked that out.
Salud. Damn.
Yes.
Damn. So then what happens? I mean, after. That's that sexual part.
No.
I'm just saying.
Okay, well, this could be a real spicy show.
Oh,
you
shit.
know?
Yeah. Rated X. Peace.
So what had happened was that we were already 9 years into our marriage, and we didn't have any children. And the reality of him not ever coming back was very real. And I decided, I want to have this man's kids. He doesn't have any children. I had one daughter before, and she was 12 when we first got together. So he's raised her up to be his own. I got the bright idea to get pregnant at 39.
Wow.
We had a deal. We had a deal. The deal was...
Was it like, let's make a deal?
Yeah,
Number
exactly.
1,
Yes,
number 2?
yes, exactly
Or door
like
number
that.
3?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was exactly like that. I was like, door number 1.
Yoo-hoo.
We have these children, and then we multiply and be fruitful.
I like how she said these children.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know then, but
Yeah, no,
But
she's-
I'm saying
her
we
plan
got...
is being set forth. She has.
I apologize for
Oh.
butting in.
Okay. And then door number 2 was, or I just go ahead and get a condo in downtown San Diego.
Whoa.
And choice number 3 was we remain childless, and just enjoy our years that way. But my husband's 8 years younger than me, and he really liked the prospect of having his own children. So I would never have children before because it's too difficult. In a military lifestyle, you move every 3 years, and because after 9/11, he deployed every single year for like 7 years. And his MOS, which is his job in the Marine Corps, requires that he be gone for, I would say, 85 to 90% of the time.
Wow.
Now, MOS, that's the military operations station, or?
That's basically how, when you sign up, it is the job that you are choosing and are assigned to for the duration of your career in the military until you change that. You might have some opportunities to laterally change or to go into a different field, but it's normally the job where you sign up with the recruiter is the job that you're going to do.
Now, when your husband was going through all this, did you really understand what the hell was going on or not?
When he was going through.
In other words, when he does that signage, you said 80, what did you say?
MOS? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. The military is famous for little acronyms, and it's a whole different language of itself. So with my children, I decided to go ahead and get pregnant, and after he had hit that roadside bomb, he was able to come home and have 3 years at home. So I was like, wait a minute. Okay, so that means I can get pregnant. You can see me actually growing and be part of that. I can have the kids, and you'll be home for that first year. And then I thought that was really great, so I could be pregnant, he could be home for the birth, and then we can have the children for, that whole year. He ended up getting deployed within 10 months after their birth.
Wow.
And he was gone for a whole year.
Wow.
It was a difficult time.
For me, the job that I do is, and again, I like to mess around, I like to fuck around and shit, but this is fucking awesome stuff, what she's saying. That's the whole idea of what we're trying to do on our podcast. Like we had mentioned before, Guy, we want to bring bands, we want to bring, I still want to bring strippers. I still do, but
A couple more beers.
but you know what?
Yes,
the whole idea,
you can get
the
it
whole
down.
idea on the podcast is stories like this, because you know what? I mean, I get a lot of customers from where I work, and they come and they've got 4 kids just crying and crying. I go, "Where's your husband?" "Oh, he's deployed." And I respect what you do because it's hard. So then I'm sorry for interrupting, but then okay, so you have the kids and he leaves.
Yes, he was deployed once again. One aspect of the military, especially when your husband already tells you he's going to be career. So before I married my husband, we discussed this. How long are you going to be in? What is your plans? And he said, I'm going to be a career Marine. I was already 33 when I got married, and that was based on the fact I said, why did you get married so late in life?
Right,
And I said, because I'm not going to stand in the church in front of my family and friends and lie.
Yeah.
I had to make sure that I was old enough to make a promise like forever.
Right.
Yeah, that's strong.
Yeah, so I decided to go there, and I just felt that it was really important to...
To what?
I lost my train of thought. So when I had my kids, it was very, very difficult. So we had decided I wanted to make sure that he was supportive, and I was supportive of his career, which meant that his career was always going to be first.
That's great.
Yes, because his career was always first, mine was in the background. So I started off as a model, spokesmodel, and a director of public relations for a magazine. Okay, It was called Primera Avenida in Phoenix, Arizona, and I was responsible for going out and talking to different clients. And then after that, I worked for insurance companies. And when I left with him to recruit, because that's what he decided to do, so that we can get to know each other, it was one of the hardest jobs out there for someone. But he chose that so that he could go from a certain time during the day and come home every night so we can get to know each other. I was on the try it before you buy it program.
That's so crazy, man. That's so crazy. So once again, we got Anita Guiterrez-Dune telling us the life and story about, la mamá que se queda en su casa con sus hijos mientras que el esposo esté allá en guerra, esté allá sirviendo para la comunidad, a toda la gente que nos representa a nosotros, USA, man, and that's crazy, girl. That is so crazy. But you said you were born in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Born in Phoenix, Arizona.
And your
born
mom and
raised.
dad were born.
My dad was born in Arizona, but my
Órale.
mom, she was born, according to the birth certificate, Fabens, Texas.
En la madre. What do you mean by it? Hey, okay, now the real shit comes out. Now the real.
Here we go.
So did you like go buy? Did she buy the certificate at well, back in the day there might have been a Kmart, or what the hell? Where was your mom really born? Don't be lying, girl. Don't be lying. Cause it's a Kalifazz Puro Pinche Party podcast.
We get the truth. Nothing
That's
but the
right.
truth. So help you get it, girl.
I don't know where she was born, but my grandma said that she just just carried her into a judge's office and said, hey, I had her in the barn right here in
En la
Fabens.
madre.
And just like that, she was a citizen.
Damn.
Yes. Back in the day, you didn't need a whole lot of things. You just
So
needed
if you guys need a citizenship and all that kind of shit, just carry a baby. Say you're in hey, say you're from Washington or something. So fucking lie.
Wow.
So then all this hard life that you went through, it had to have been a big ass sacrifice what you did. You
Oh.
know, and now what you're doing now, okay, I want to tell you guys something that I heard about this woman. Once again, Anita Guiterrez-Dune.
Hey.
I was saying Dunes, but now it's just Dune, you know, like, but the deal is, in your childish, your childish life, because I understand you ran away or you left home at what age?
I didn't run away. I did. My
Te
mom.
corrieron like a typical mother, like a fucking typical mother. Mira, cabrona, if you don't wanna go to school, if you don't wanna work, vete.
Okay, assholes. No.
I think she called you guys.
Did I say with one? I should have said a plural.
So your life as a young kid, because that's what I want. That's the whole idea of our podcast is your childish stuff with your childhood, because we all have stories, and then now that you are 74 years old. Oh, wait a minute.
Close,
right,
64.
right.
No.
Oh, 64. Ya está vieja la vieja. She's almost ready for. Dude, so
Depends.
you get depends. You get that fucking senior citizens meals at Denny's, huh?
No, we used yours.
So, anyways, changing the subject. Hey, guy,
Hey.
take over this interview.
Okay, so you got to the right teenage years, but you decided to emancipate yourself?
Yes, so my mother used to, have a problem being able to support us after my father had left. So she started bringing people from Mexico, and we were, there was always people in the house. So
Okay.
my mom, being short on hands and money, decided that I would be the maid, and I would cook for them, clean
Wow.
for them. We
Okay.
didn't have, running water and the hot water in the house, and we were supposed to cook. She wanted me to cook for like 10 people in just a little hot plate, which I understand.
It's doable.
Yeah,
but
it's doable, and I was doing it gracefully.
And where was
with
this at
patience.
in Juarez or
No, this is
Arizona?
in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh shit!
Yes, this is right here in the hood. Okay, West Side.
What's up? Hey, G Burrow saying, "What's up?"
I just lost it right there. Thank you so much for that.
So I was there, and my mom I had told her, this is a lot. This is a lot. They even took my room away so
To
that
make housing.
yes, for other people.
Wow.
And I didn't want to be responsible for so many people
I
at
think
a
you
young
need to
age.
sit.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Pepsi Man over here.
Mm-hmm.
Salud.
Salud.
And then,
Mm.
oh wait.
So I decided, to leave home and try, to do for myself in a different setting.
Yeah.
And she was very upset about it, but she was very proud that I had already started taking classes for, I was very interested in the law always, my rights and people's rights, because they had been so many times violated,
Yeah.
Growing up. My mom was not allowed to speak Spanish.
Wow.
They changed their names to be more Americanized.
Wow.
She really kept us from trying to speak Spanish, dissuaded us from speaking Spanish because of the there was just so many negative.
Now, do you think that was because you were born in Arizona, or that was just a time of the
That was the time.
La Onda?
It was the sign of the time. Yeah.
Because I mean, in all honesty, to God truth, my father was born in Phoenix, Arizona. He didn't speak no Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
He was an Indian, Chief Papa Goyaki,
Mm-hmm.
and born in Phoenix. Or and it's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
So
It was definitely frowned upon at that time. However, she did end up after that. All my fathers are
Oh, your fathers.
What's going on?
Next show, we're gonna be talking about the dads with Dr. Phil.
Yeah, we got some issues.
Yeah, en nombre del Padre y Espíritu Santo.
Okay.
So how
Okay,
Mexican
well, I
are you?
left.
How Mexican are you then? If you're not sure, how Mexican are you? Are
Yeah.
you so Mexican that when you see an accent, you go, "Oh, Dios mío, ¿qué iba a decir?"
No, I
you
don't.
do
No,
that.
no.
Okay.
She
Or
was a
before you
Jehovah's
get-
Witness.
Okay, she
So
was a
that-
Jehovah's
Oh.
So this is even more confusing because
This
if you
is so
ask,
confusing.
the only holiday I really know is Easter. You know,
Because you like the huevos.
No fuck, say huevos. Ay,
me gustan los
break,
huevos.
She likes the huevos.
hiding
And the
the
chocolate
huevos.
bunny. And the
Hiding
chocolate
the
bunny.
huevos. Okay.
Where?
I get it.
Hey, come on, man. This is a real professional show. I swear to God, I'm talking to that Rosie. What's that girl's name? Rosie from the White Man Can't. Rosie Perez from White Man Can't Jump.
Yeah, White Man
Okay,
Can't Pump either.
so settle down.
Yeah.
So what had happened was
Count.
I had actually left home
Okay.
at 15, and I emancipated myself.
Okay.
And
What was that word?
emancipated. Emancipation is basically when someone that's under the age of a majority
Yeah.
or the age of consent files a motion with the courts to become independent and
Wow.
solely responsible for themselves outside of their parents.
Because honestly, that word sounds really nasty, but I just why
It's
I had to.
imagination.
It's imagination. So, and you know, it's funny because the life that you lived, and I don't care if people get mad at me, because people are used to me like being a payaso and being it's like that clown that you always got that fucking smile on your face, but you struggle a lot inside. And I remember leaving my house at 14. You know, it was a difficult life. And again, if my brothers and sisters are watching this, I apologize, but I'm not gonna lie. It was a struggle, man. It was a struggle. I believe that as an adult now, at my age, I'm gonna be 58. I believe that it's better to be honest, you know. And it was a struggle. It was a struggle. You know why? Because when you're a kid, you don't like your mother or you don't like your father because they're this and that. But as you grow up, you realize, man, if it wasn't because of them, we wouldn't be here.
Yep.
You know, we would be locked up. We would be probably even dead. You know, and all that stuff. But again, I apologize. But this is the real shit, man. This is the real shit, and that's why we wanted you to be here.
Well, one of the stories I can share with you, I had shared with you how it came to be that I moved out. I just to give you a little more detail, not only was I responsible for that at home, but it got to a point where she had already been moving people from Mexico and, going back and forth, and it was a source of income. But when they started asking me to go across the border, not across the border, but through the desert, I would go, and it was not a great experience for me. You know, I would go sometimes with her to bars or something like that, and I would see passing of money to dance with me and things of that nature. So
I don't play that.
You don't
so anyhow, but once they started wanting me to go across the desert with groups of men, I was out. I told my mom, I'm not going to come back. I can't help you anymore. And that's why I then became responsible for the home. And then I was not able to do that either because I was pregnant and not feeling well,
crazy,
and I wanted
man.
to get out. And on top of that, a funny story is that, growing up, it was difficult for my mom. I love my mom, and I know she was doing the best she could. So, I have no resentment or any hostility or anything, because now that I'm a mom, and I know I raised my trends for a whole year while my husband was deployed, and it's hard.
But that's what I'm telling you. When you were young, like a lot of us people, we all have this feeling towards our parents, like, and it's exactly like you. I mean, now that we're older, we realize they had to do their living, or they would scold us. It was for our own good. And gracias a Dios, I have 3 kids. I have 3 kids. I have 1 wife, married 38 years. But
Wow.
and I hate
Fast,
and I
fast.
hate to keep bringing this shit up, but it's the same life what you went through. It's what we all went through, and we all go through that shit.
So did your parents also take your friends to tell your friends to spend the night and then take them to go pick grapes or?
No, you know what? Honestly, we were. You know, the deal is that our father, my father, he worked for being an Indian. El vato was we were blessed that. I mean, we did have an older father and a younger mother. My father died.
Okay.
My father died when he was 50. My mom was 37, and I think they were married about 15 years. My dad brings a trio over to our house, and to promote that, I mean, he was still doing stuff with my mama and got her 2 months pregnant on a Saturday, and then he died on Tuesday. So again, if my family hates a story, it's something story that I've always lived with.
Right. That's true. Your truth is important. Live your truth. If you
and
don't
a lot of times, a lot of people don't want to say the damn truth. So your story is just exactly like us. Like I said, it was a difficult life because you know what. When you're growing up and your dad's a lot older than everybody, and so that kind of stuff. But that's another topic. But now that let's change it now, because now I think that now that what you're doing now, and it's exactly what we're doing now. I'm all excited with my music, my podcast. Thank God for Guy Murray, the funny guy. This is fucking awesome. I didn't even know this stuff. It's the same thing that everybody goes through, and we're used to making fucking fun and all that shit. But this is something that everybody lives through, and now you look what you're doing now. So again, let's go now.
So you're taking that previous trauma, that previous experience, and you started going to comedy clubs and just watching shows and everything, and found a way for yourself to release that. So now, how are you bringing that back to share with other USMC wives and retiree wives? How are you helping those?
So what I decided to do is after my husband was in war for 20 years.
That's crazy.
Yes, 9/11 happened in 2000.
Hey, real quick, it was just like
We'll never forget.
It was just like I was at work one day, and I tell we went to a couple of Oktoberfest, and I go, hey man, so when do they have Oktoberfest? Pendejo, it's October. You just told them 2011. He's thinking 2019.
No.
So what happened is when my husband started deploying back and forth from 2003 is when he first deployed, because we were recruiting duty up until that time. So once he came back from recruiting duty, he started, he was instantaneously sent over to Afghanistan. Or Iraq, actually, at the time.
Again, I'm interrupting you. Now, did you know, you being the wife of a man who's doing all the recruiting, did you know what the hell's going on? Did you guys ever have conversations of, hey, Adriana, this is what's going to... Did you guys have that communication? Or
Anita.
I'm sorry, man. I'm just...
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
So, did you guys have that communication where he would come and tell you, Mija, you know what? I gotta go. This is what's going on. And did you as a wife? Because I have a feeling that a lot of these women don't know what's going on.
Well, my father was a Marine, and my mom always told me, don't marry a Marine, never marry a Marine. And I was born in 1970.
Damn, you're old.
But I look hella good.
No comment.
So, I grew up with a lot of the, on TV, I seen a lot of Vietnam going on, and I seen like the footage of Hiroshima, and I was in school when Reagan had, was talking about Star Wars and all of that. So it was very traumatic for me, because my father, being Marine, wanted to watch all of this footage and that, and I was really young, and it was traumatic, and he had PTSD. So it was not pretty. But what I've done is, when my husband started showing signs of PTSD himself, and being that I was alone with my kids for a whole year, my body broke down. So I actually had I've had up to 7 surgeries while he's been in service. That's
So-
even more surgeries than him,
Years
someone
of
in
service,
active
yeah.
So-
active
so-
duty.
For a lot of people that we're not into the, that life,
Mm-hmm.
what does that PTSD mean?
Okay,
Because we don't know. I honestly, I don't know.
Well, it's
And that's why- that's why-
post-traumatic stress disorder, and it's a mental condition, comes from the stress and trauma of war, or even abuse. So some people that are held up at gunpoint during a burglary, you can actually suffer a traumatic event, and you can have
It's true.
and that you relive that trauma, and so you
Or
have
if you're
this stress
robbed,
disorder. Or,
right.
Yeah. My wife actually had that, and she was held up working at a El Pollo Loco.
Oh wow, no.
And so yeah, she shut down for 2 years after that.
Wow.
They put her on disability, and
Whoa.
she stopped working for a while.
That's
Okay,
crazy,
so
man.
that was one day of her life that was severely impacted.
Yeah.
And I was going through this for 20 years.
That's crazy.
And most of them, like I said, my husband was home like 1/3 of the time. My daughter she was 35 when she told him, she's like, you know what, puppy? This is the first Easter I've ever spent with you.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
It was really difficult because, he just retired. So let's, on the positive note, what I've decided to do is once I developed the post-traumatic syndrome, my husband also, we recognized that he also had the same difficulty, which is why.
So the wives can get it too, even
Yes,
there.
Oh, yeah.
secondhand event. So it's a secondhand event. So I really started developing that when he was in war. Not everybody, let me start this over again. I got a little excited because of the anxiety involved with that. But just so that you are aware of exactly what had happened or how it happens, is that they are not allowed to communicate with their family out of safety. They're not supposed to, once they go into a certain zone, there is no communication at all. And this was back in the day we called it snail mail. Okay, so you had to get things delivered. Since then, the Marine Corps has come up with other ways. They went to faxes, where you could fax something
Fax
and
them
fax
And
them
now
over
we
and
laugh
receive
when
it.
they say, "Can you send a fax?"
Yeah, and now they actually do it by email. Okay, so there was a long period of time where I was just alone without any contact.
No contact with your family or nothing.
No, my mother passed away when I met my husband. My mom had passed away, and my father passed away like 2 years later. And then, so basically, I've just kind of been on my own. And my husband's also, he came from El Salvador, so he came here by himself.
Wow.
And so, we were just kind of like some orphans together.
Wow, that's crazy, man.
And what I decided to do is after he was in war, his truck had got hit, as I had said before. And after his truck got hit, you're not supposed to, but his friend that was in his car with him satellite phoned to his wife.
Right.
And because he was so shaken that he was unable to, he was in shock. So they went ahead and let him call, and she called me, which was the worst thing you could really do.
Yeah.
And there's reasons that we're not supposed to do that. Okay, there's reasons. However, I do appreciate that she made that call. But since that day, I woke up the next day and everything was spinning, and every time I watched the news, it was just too much. And that was when I first developed, I knew that I was having a response of anxiety and stress. And then after I had my children, my husband went away for a whole year. My ACL broke. It just snapped one day, as ACLs do. You can feel it like a rubber band. And I needed several surgeries because I was carrying 2 babies at a time, at the same time carrying groceries and doing all of that all alone. So my body just could not take it. So what I decided to do after my husband finally decided to get sober is that I myself went and received mental health services through the military, through the Marine Corps, I will tell you that the Marine Corps has been instrumental in my recovery back to productivity.
But how did you find this? How did you? Because you're living this life where it's only you with your kids and your husband. And I mean, how in the hell did you? I mean, again, I hope you guys share this show, man. You know, because usually I only like to do a half-hour show, but I think this show to me is the most fucking awesome ass shit because I just, how in the hell did you in all those years you think I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that? You're by yourself.
Well, I feel that I had a baby at 15 by myself in the hospital. I moved out when I was 15 by myself, and I was fearless. My mom said, if you think you could do a better job, do it. And so I did.
She challenged you.
Yes, and
that made you who you are now.
Yes, sir. And I'm like that with
Let me take a sip.
everything that I do. I am like that.
So now,
once we had decided that, or my husband had decided that he was going to be a career Marine and all of that, and he was very affected by all those years of deployments and war, and he was responsible for so many young lives. You can only imagine how that could affect you, and some people were injured and things of that nature, and he himself was in a blast. So he stopped knowing how to communicate, I believe. And so as the mom, I had children, and I would never have, had children had I known that this was going to be the path that I was on.
You never thought about it.
I was in a very positive, loving, supportive relationship, and then my husband came back, and I did not see him again. So it was pretty devastating. However, he did go and get sober. After he got sober,
now, do you think that the drinking or whatever he was doing, it was because of the life he lived?
Yes, the drinking was his cover for covering up the PTSD and for all the responsibilities and for the constant deployments and just being exposed to all of the war and the responsibilities. My husband is 8 years younger than me. So he was only 30, at that time when he was responsible for so many young lives, and that's a large burden to carry. So when he came back and he got sober, I then reached out for services for myself, and I was placed into extreme trauma therapy. Now, most women, when they are assigned to something like that, you go to the hospital and you go to recover. But I didn't have that luxury. I had 2 babies and no one to back me up. So people say, how do you do that? How did you do that? And I'm like, the same way someone would be, trapped on an island or, in the middle of the Sahara.
Now, you, I could tell that you went through a lot and you're very smart. If you look at the camera, and all those ladies, because I know we're gonna have a lot of viewers to check this out, because we're just not gonna push it on the Tejano. We're pushing it for all the people. What would you recommend those ladies that are going through what you went through?
I would suggest, number one, that you need to find a very supportive group. You need to find support wherever it is that you are or wherever it is that you need to go to be well. Secondly, I believe that you need to have a network that is willing to hear you for a long period of time, and that includes doctors, psychiatrists, and if you don't have access to that, God, the Lord, go to church, find it, whatever it is that you feel that you need to do to be well, and that is not going to change until you change it. And so if you are in a situation where you feel that you're overwhelmed, you need assistance, for my military wives, I would like you to know that there are countless programs that are available to you for free. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call. They are there for your husband. They are there for your children. They are there for you. All you need to do is call. Everything is confidential. You do not have to worry about your husband being busted down, or you don't have to worry about what is going to happen to him, because what you need to focus on is yourself and your children, because as mothers, we are the foundation of our family, and especially for military families, and if we're not well, then everything just falls apart.
Now, does the insurance pay for this, or how?
Yes,
how?
it is free.
So you decided. How did you find this? That's what I don't understand.
So basically, I just said, look, I can't do this by myself. All through my life, at 15 years old, I learned how to have and care for a baby by reading the books. You know, they say when you're, how, it's like pregnancy for dummies, or, you know, things of that nature. I just read a lot of books. I read, and I really did that because people didn't think I could do it. And again, a challenge. It was a challenge. Yeah. So since I was so young, I always learned how to take care of myself. And one of those ways was to seek help when you need it. And it's not always going to be your mother or someone that's close to you, because sometimes the best people to talk to are those that are not in your circle, that don't already have some concept of who you are or an idea of you already.
So once again, I'm really going to beg you guys, I'm going to ask you guys to please share this podcast, because you know what, like I said, we started fucking around, talking shit and all this shit, but you know what? What an honor, man, to have a woman that had to grow up so fast, Anita Guiterrez-Dune. See, I said it right.
Woo! All right.
No, madre. And you know what? And you know what? I really want you guys... want you guys to push this show, man, because you know what? There's a lot of women out there right now. There's a lot of mothers with a lot of kids that they're young. They're young. Because when I see people at my job and they look so young. Oh, my husband's deployed. I almost said deported.
That too.
That too.
In our families, that's something that happens.
And it sucks.
That's a real valid issue.
And it really sucks because they don't know.
Or they're locked up. It's the same shit, people, okay? It's like the same trauma. When you are without a significant other in your life and you lack the support and you are just have the weight of the family on your shoulders, you need to be able to express that you need help. And with the military, everything is provided. There is so many resources, and I really encourage you that families that are having issues and PTSD, like I said, many of the women that are having the second-hand PTSD, because we are still in war. Even though it's
COVID.
It's been 20 years and we've left the Middle East, but now we're in Russia. And that was something that was very, very difficult for me to actually deal with. I couldn't watch the news. I really can't involve myself too much into that, even though I'm totally dedicated and praying always and wanting to contribute.
After the 4th of Sancho. Did you see that right there? Okay. Sancho time.
Woo! You better call home.
Better
call home. On FaceTime.
After 4, he's fucked.
You've got that. You've got great programs, and you've got a lot of information. Where can they find you, or how to tap into?
Okay. Well, I would like to finish the segment with letting you guys know that I am an upcoming producer for comedy and using comedy for its psychological and physiological effects on the body. It has been proven. There's been various studies. One of them was in 1970 that showed that there are benefits for stress, anxiety, depression, when the list goes, pain. It is quantifiable. It's quantifiable. And because of that, there's been a lot more usage on that, just like meditation and breathing and sound type.
When you laugh, it actually releases endorphins, and your body is now in full recovery when you have those releasing endorphins.
Yes, it cuts the cortisol.
Exactly. And so with your therapy and your sessions and your promotions, Phoenician Promotions is doing great things. I already see her motivation to help a lot of people, and she's got some programs. We had an excellent show in March, and it's just amazing.
So I do have a show coming up.
She's got a show coming up.
I have a show coming up on May 14th at the American Legion in Vista. The address is 1234 Vista Way. And I'm also working right now. I just spoke with Mami with American Homefront. She's one of the founders, and we discussed that she is going to be doing a show for 1st Battalion, 11th Marines, and I will be putting that together, bringing in comics. I'm hoping on a national level. I've already spoken to a few people that are very interested, and I would like to bring comedy to the Marine Corps as a way to release some of that stress and to bring attention of the taboo of receiving mental health services while active duty. Because a lot of women don't know that if they are not with their husband for 20 whole
That's
years
crazy.
without, well, they're in active duty, if they get a divorce, they're no longer being able to access some of those
Benefits.
yes, some of those benefits, some of those programs that they're, so much in need of. And I really believe that it's important to keep families together and to use these resources so that we can all get better together. We're going back into Ukraine, and I really pray for all of my military people that are going through it still. My husband won't be deploying this year, and so I'm out of that anxiety, of that place of anxiety. However, there are so many friends and family that are still serving, and I really appreciate you guys. I love you. I pray for your safety all the time. I thank you guys for letting me be here, and it's been a pleasure.
Well, you guys have been friends for a long, long time. He's always crying, and then because he already sneezed 3 fucking times. I always want to be the fucking comedian. I want to be that funny guy. Not that one. I want to be myself.
I'm too serious. I don't know.
But you know what? Honest to God truth, Anita, is like I said, I'm so used to being a fucking payaso, when I do my radio shows, I'm over here laughing and shit and laughing, but they don't know the real story, what I got inside. And I think that today, I didn't even know this story about you, and I think it's so fucking cool because we all live the same life. We just sometimes don't know how to tell you, or you don't want to open up and realize what we're going through because we're afraid que la gente se va a encabronar. Ay, qué pinche vergüenza, que la chingada and all that shit. Hey, I'm so honored, Anita, that you were here. I really want to thank Guy Murray, the funny guy. Yep. He's not too funny today because, he's worried about fucking Sancho over there chewing up. But I honestly hope that when we do that comedy show, at the American Legion, aquí en Vista, and I hope that we can be part of that. Be a part of that, and let's record that stuff. But I think that before we go, I want you to tell everybody out there, invite everybody to share this show, and tell them what you already said what you and tell them to be strong. Yes. And you I know you got a website. I imagine you got a Facebook, Pornhub.
That's OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. $99 for one month.
Oh, you know that? Oh.
Yeah, he knows.
Guy. No, but I don't have that money. So I really want to thank you.
You can subscribe to the feet one.
I want the free station. But I honestly want to thank you guys all. I want you all to please, all the local people from San Diego, Texas, San Antonio, everywhere. Just honestly, like I said, I have not been a big fan of our first podcast because I just haven't felt it. Felt it? Say it. But I just feel now that we're open, listening to everybody tell me, oh, you do it this way, do it that way, little by little. I want to thank you once again, Mr. Guy Murray, the funny man, the funny guy,
yes.
for doing what you do and everything, man, dude. I am so blessed to have you on my team, Kalifazz, again, for Kalifazz Studios. And Guy, I want to thank you for bringing this monster, this lady, the real life.
Yeah.
So before we go, again, tell everybody, they're all over the world. YouTube does that stuff. We're on YouTube. We're where else?
Spotify.
Well,
we're on Google.
Oh, wait a minute. Google. And then you can find us.
We're on Anchor. So if you just look up Kalifazz on YouTube, we're going to be like the #1 channel because of you guys. And on Spotify, we're the Puro Peachy Party Podcast. That's what I'm talking about right there.
And I would just like to close by letting you know that as part of the Military Spouse Association, I invite anyone that's out there that's military that would like to get involved with volunteering and being part of a military community. You can go on to MSA. Look for Camp Pendleton Military Spouse Association, and you may join. Just read up on what it is that you need to see if you're eligible. And secondly, I really would like to throw this out here for my friend Mami Young, who is the founder of Home Front America. This is really important. Home Front America does so many things for our military. She has supported my family and countless other families while their husbands are deployed by doing dinners and when they're home as well. Supplying Christmas dinners, backpacks. She has so many initiatives for families to get together and be together and just be helpful while their spouses are deployed. And how she finds the resources to provide those for the families is the biggest event that they have is Home Front America Field of Honor. Now, Home Front America Field of Honor, you can go to Home Front America on Facebook, any website. It's Home Front America, and they're going to be having the Mission San Juan Capistrano on May 24th through May 30th, and we're looking for sponsorship, and we are looking for anyone that would like to donate money so that she can continue to support military families throughout the year. And also, not just military families, but this is for first responders, firefighters, policemen, anyone that's in active service is who she's servicing, okay? So you can just go to www.homefrontamerica.org. And she's a great supporter of mine. She's actually going to be helping me to support 1st Battalion, 11th Marines. In September, we will be having a show for about 700 Marines.
Wow.
Damn.
Yes.
Nice.
How about if I'm not Marine, can I be 701?
I'm sticking my purse.
So here's my deal. You gotta have a big gauchi or what that shit called?
Gucci.
Gucci.
No, as long
Well,
as
it's gaucho, yeah.
he didn't say coochie.
So here, you know what? Here again I go right now. You know, because I like to talk. I love to end up with some fucking, you know, like this and that. But I'm gonna invite you. Mm-hmm. Once again, I'm gonna invite you. Mm-hmm. We're at the Kalifazz Studios here in Vista, California. Mm-hmm. I want to invite you that maybe another show we can bring in. Let's bring a firefighter, and I'm gonna invite you to be one of the hosts of this podcast because I feel that we need to go out. You know, again, it's not all about music. For me, mi corazón es música. Mm-hmm. You know, because that's what I grew up with. Mm-hmm. Guy is a comedian. A guy has done a lot other stuff that we don't give him a lot of time to talk.
I'm actually canvassing for Mike Levin this weekend and throughout the week because I got a primary that's coming up in June 6th. And Mike Levin has supported a lot of things with the military and for the service industries, and he's just trying to get us return to his chair in Congress. So I'll be canvassing for him this weekend.
And let's bring him in. Let's bring him in because, again, let's push esta gente.
Yes.
Let's push esta gente. Just because you don't sing a song, just because you can't. I'm not.
They serve and protect. They serve and protect,
so,
and the reason that everyone sleeps well at night is because our borders are protected. We don't have to worry about the issues that most of the world does, and I'm very.
So that's what makes me excited. That's what gets me excited because you know what, all you beautiful people that are going to be tuning in, I want you guys to subscribe and press that like button. And you know, if I can get a thousand subscribers, I'm going to take my clothes off.
Okay.
Well,
can we have a better offer? Okay, subscribe if you don't want his clothes on. Subscribe if you don't want his,
But you know what? I want to invite you so we can continue this Kalifazz Puro Pichi Party podcast.
Okay.
I would love to invite you that this will not be the first time.
Okay.
But I want you to become a team.
Oh,
and let's push all these people that what you went through, what we went through, what we go through, and everything. Let's do this because the only way we're going to be able to do this is push and promote what you do. And the música is going to continue. We're going to have the best Tejano music. We're going to bring the best grupero música. and we're going to bring stories like this. And we're going to bring, like you said, the Los Bomberos. We're going to bring, my goal is to bring some veteranos that have lost their legs or that's been a struggle, and let's...
Wounded warriors is who you're
warriors.
speaking of.
And I apologize.
Yes, no, it's okay. You don't know all the terminology, and I understand that. And there's Blue Star families, which are those families that have lost a loved one in the active service. So it's very important.
Anita Guiterrez-Dune. I almost said Dunes. I
Dunes.
really...
You know the Dunes.
I want to thank you. And again, when you guys hear this show in a few weeks, please subscribe, share, and press the like button. Amigos, una vez más, a big shout out to Anita Guiterrez-Dune and my man, the one and only Guy, the funny man. Salud. Amigos, que pasen buenas noches. We'll talk to you later, bitches!
Good.
Okay. That's how I talk.
Yeah, well, you know what? Okay, so I got a confirmation on the wild.
To be on our show, contact Kalifazz. Kalifazz Studio, 760-208-7264. If you want to be on our show on our next episode, get in touch with us today.